In this episode, astrologer Val Evans explains what could derail the royal plans in the South Pacific. How will the king and queen fare?
Hello and welcome. I'm Astrologer Val Evans. Thanks for tuning in today. We are going to be discussing the energy in the sky right now, and it looks electrifying. King Charles III is traveling to Samoa for a meeting of top government officials from each of the 56 independent nations that make up the Commonwealth. At the top of the agenda is the fight against climate change. Often when we see the word change, we are talking about planet Uranus, and it is strong right now. Quite often that's good. Sometimes we need a change, but I am seeing something in the charts that I wanted to talk with you about. Remember, we were talking about the October surprise. So keeping that in mind. I mean, it is October, right? And it's going to depend based on which chart we look at when October starts because of the solar returns. This is the chart, and it looks concerning to me. We've already seen a little bit of a surprise as a couple of them. King Charles went to Australia. There was a politician that came in and kind of just shocked everybody, which would be Uranus. And then there was a surprise that King Charles left after about 10 minutes in one of the visits. So that was a little bit of a surprise. But really what we're looking at, and keeping in mind, this is for Samoa. So this would be Sunday. And that's at midnight, Monday, Tuesday. So now we're talking about Wednesday, which is right here. It's right in Libra. So Libra represents contracts. It represents marriage, represents politicians. So of course, there's going to be a lot of politicians, more than anyone can possibly handle in one place. Let's just say that. We want to look at where Venus is. Where is Venus? Venus is right here. And Venus represents foreign politicians if it's in Sagittarius. So we've got Wednesday here and Thursday. Now, it almost seems like Thursday could be even more of a shock. But let me show you what I'm looking at here. We've got Uranus and the moon at the top of the chart here. And it is opposing. This looks like, now, could this have been already that female politician who just wanted to shock everyone? Because when you have an opposition to Uranus, especially in the Algol area of Taurus, which can mean somebody loses their head, well, that can happen. But see, they weren't in Samoa. So at that time when it happened to him before, and we're looking at the Samoan chart. So could this be transferred over here to Wednesday, Thursday? Now, I think he's leaving on Thursday, maybe even later. You'll have to fact check me on that. So we're still thinking that there is potentially a female politician, again, who's going to be shocking in some way. And it's going to make headlines because of the moon there in Taurus. So moon means fame and not very nice. But let's go to the fourth house. And then I've got a bunch of other charts we're going to look at, including Camilla's, because Camilla's really shows something that makes me raise an eyebrow. Now, let's look at what's inside the fourth house. This is the day of Wednesday. Now, the sun shows awards and it shows people in power and it shows a powerful politician. This is going to be representative of some of the people he's going to see, King Charles is going to see tomorrow, or actually today for some people who are watching in Australia. And this is in a T-square here. There are some, it seems like some angry politicians who are wounded. Chiron is wounds. These are maybe people who are pretty normally abusive. Will they be abusive on Wednesday? It looks like they're being stopped. Okay. They're not able to really say what they want to say. So, and we like that. We like that for King Charles. But so we look at that, yet we've got something else to see here. We've got Mercury at 8 degrees in Scorpio. This is two people who want revenge. They want to do something where maybe it goes down in history. Saturn is history. And you can see a big grand trine. So who are these people? This is the grand trine right there. It goes to the fourth house. 8 degrees is a murderer. 8 degrees is somebody who wants revenge. Mercury in Scorpio means your mind is on taking something of someone else's. Okay. And so with the trine to Saturn in the eighth house, this could be somebody who is coming back. Now, could this potentially be somebody who is saying that they are, maybe they are the illegitimate child because the eighth house means pregnancy? It sure looks like there are two people. Mercury is two, could be some kind of plan of some sort. So, what that tells me, with it being a little bit more in the fourth house, shows that it might be more in the afternoon. The sun would be in the morning, and that would be that first T square. And then Mercury would be in the afternoon. So, at the very least, what they're going to have to do is make sure that everything is secure in the home. Obviously, he's the king. There's going to be a lot of guards outside of his home while he goes off. But it seems as if there could be somebody lurking around the home and maybe wanting something that is not theirs, which is Scorpio. Based on some of the days, we're looking at Wednesday and even Thursday. Now, I'm not sure when he leaves, but Thursday it looks like some other female, maybe a politician, maybe foreign female, loses her head. And why would we say that? Because in those late degrees of Taurus, mythology, all of the stories, it's of someone, Medusa, losing her head. Hopefully, nobody will be around to see it. And King Charles can just avoid it and ignore it like he did the last one. This is the Evening Standard Solar Return, which we look at every week. We want to see what the headlines are based on the Evening Standard's horoscope. We have the fifth house for the solar return chart, and we have an intercepted house, meaning that the lords are going to change mid-month between October 11th, because the birthday is on the 11th, and November 11th. So isn't it weird that right in the middle of the month, right about now, we have Venus, which is right here, and it is changing over to Pluto, the ruler of Scorpio and the symbol of revenge. I'm looking at this as if maybe an indicator of what the headlines are going to be. It's so interesting. I don't know if you noticed, but there is that revenge element that's coming out. I was just reading in the last couple of days about how Martha Stewart is talking about how, she cheated on her husband. It's like, oh my God, that was such a long time ago. And so, these feelings of just wanting to really give it to somebody, they're just rising to the surface here. So Pluto is in this T square, and not good, not good. Now, thankfully, it isn't part of Uranus. So Uranus would be like a gunshot or something like that. But Mars is still a weapon, and I'm not saying this about anyone in particular, but we do potentially have this coming up here with Pluto in the eighth, and it's in that T square with Mars, and Mars is a guy. Mars is in the 11th house. So this is social media. So there could be some people coming out on social media. There could be quite a storm of people who, climate change is a big topic and divisive topic. So there's a possibility that people are just lashing out maybe on the topic. I don't know. This is happening right about now. We've gone from Venus to Pluto. Pull a card for just the show in general to see maybe are we on the right track here? Am I just imagining this? So let me just pull a card for the show. The moon, soul. It's got 3 moons. And it's like against this like very ancient wall of some sort. Devin, hello, Val from England. Great to see you, Devin. Now, what do you guys think about that moon card? Patsy, you're on here, and anybody else who wants to pull cards with me. Let's look at this. And then I'm going to pull a card for Charles. But this is his solar return. He is in the last month of his solar return chart. So if you pull your solar return chart, you want to pull for your last birthday. So we're still looking at his 2023. He hasn't had his birthday yet. And you want to click on the tab that says solar only. And so you're only going to see the planets on the inside. And that's how we get this calendar here. And something I look at when I do my readings. And so interesting that the 12th house, which would be the last month before his birthday, would be right on Regulus. And look at how this sun is here, conjunct Mars, which can show an angry king. Not that we've seen him be angry, but this can show either he's angry, there could be angry kings, but this is in Scorpio. This is serious. This is revenge. And Uranus right here in the ninth house is a strike. It's a foreign strike of some sort that is shocking. It seems like it's shocking. It seems like it takes Charles by surprise. Now, like I said, it's already happened. Maybe that was this woman who was the politician. Yeah, it's losing one's head again. You can see that Uranus right in Taurus. Well, of course, Uranus has been in Taurus for some time, but what is that? And this is the third house too. So this is like locals, local people. Now, for the most part, it seems and is reported that the Samoans are very happy to have King Charles there because it promotes tourism. It shines a light on the islands and great for European travel. So that's one side of it. But this looks like something that could be vengeful. Now, of course, the third house is Prince Andrew as well. So we could be seeing some things that are happening. He's on the phone with Prince Andrew's people while he's in Samoa, but it's like he is so angry right now. So we know it's the brother, but is it somebody else that maybe he's going to meet at this big wig meeting? Evelyn, good evening from the Netherlands. Nice to see you, Evelyn. Jay Fitz, I do wonder why he did this trip with his health, etc. Margaret, hello from the UK. It is so hard to even, like, as somebody who has a loved one who's battling cancer, even going out to have a day out is extremely hard because, I mean, they are affected maybe, depending on, of course, how far they are along in the disease. It is exhausting the next day or two. It takes them at least 2 days to recover from just an outing. So I just can't imagine how he is doing that. King Charles is traveling to Australia and the Samoan Islands. He does have help. He's got his doctors there. I'm sure he's got oxygen and he's got blood and he's got all of these things that can help him. Mary, this is the only channel I'm always looking forward to every readings you are having. Hope you're doing it on a daily basis. It's really informative and believable. Thank you. Andrew Security, Vicky says, is cut off on October 31st. I thought, yeah. So he's kind of, I think that Charles is kind of dealing with that really on the side, So we think he's just focused on local politics of the Samoan Islands. Oh no, there's a whole big soap opera back home that he's also being really pissed off about. And I'll bet you he's pissed off that he has to deal with it while he's there. He's like, give me a break. I've got so much stuff to do here. I can't be focused on this too, and that might make him angry. But there is something that has to do with Uranus, which is a strike. Now, strike sometimes these charts can be literal because sometimes it means a literal strike. Okay. And we've seen that already in the past couple days that people are holding signs and it's just like, oh my God, coming from the royal side, probably in my mind. What am I seeing here with regard to Charles's 12th house as it pertains potentially to this strike with, his foreign travel? Is this something that we need to be worried about? Knight of Swords. So running away from something, whoa, it looks like somebody's going to try to do something. Do you think so? Oh my God. Yeah. So this is a guy, and he's running to his bike there, and he's got a crossbow. Great. Well, can you give us some type of, why I don't worry sometimes is because the royals have the best security in the world. They're going to take every precaution, so it's going to be fine. But it doesn't mean that people aren't going to try. Here we go. Give me some kind of clarification for this Knight of Swords. Will this be dangerous for the visitors of the Samoan Islands? Six of Swords reversed. So this seems a little bit serious here. Usually Six of Swords, when it's upright, means that you're okay. There's a lot of chaos. Oh, wow. That's a boat too. So that's right on the water. So definitely think that if they're traveling on the water, if they're traveling by boat, they need to have bomb sniffing dogs. They've got to really take precaution when it comes to being out on the water. Maybe that's reversed. So can show maybe some trouble on a boat. Could be trouble on a boat. Let me get a clarifier card. Is there any trouble for the royals, King Charles and Queen Camilla, as they travel to this very high-powered meeting? Two of Swords. Okay. Two. We've got two again. It's a female. Although there's a lot of male energy here, but you're trying to make up your mind about something, but there could be two people that they can't see. Normally what this would mean is that you can't make up your mind. But I mean, that could be in the mix as well. I think he wanted to make this trip as it may be his last due to that area due to his age. Yes. Now, this is the first time a reigning monarch has visited Australia since Queen Elizabeth. Yes, that's right. Amber did say something about him being on the water last Friday. Patsy, the moon card could suggest that something lurking in the dark comes out. And with that Knight of Swords, something comes at him fast, possibly. So, we hope that security is really stepped up, because these are, think about it, these are really important people for that area. All politicians are Libra. But it certainly looks like, Sun and Mars, that could be two people who strike. Or it could be an angry person that is striking around the area. So this is Camilla's soul return chart, and she started July 17th. Now we would go July, August, September. So she just started the fourth house, of her year. So she starts her solar return on her birthday, and this was her first birthday month. Now, looking at a solar return chart like this would be not too bad. Although it does, Black Moon Lilith is the top year. So, but still, it shows that the plan can work and can show success there. Always nice to have a grand trine in your chart, in your solar return chart. But I want you to look at October 17th to November 17th, and that starts right here on the fourth house. Look, there's two people right there, Mars and Uranus. Now, we've already seen a little flavor of this when there was a man on the roof from a few months ago, and it was right after everything happened, the assassination attempt for President Trump. So when I saw that, a man on the roof, I was like, ooh, I don't like that kind of theme here. Was that an omen? I hope not. But we're talking about the fact that Uranus and Mars is right in there right now, October 17th to November 17th. And what is it doing? It is squaring Leo, Mercury, two people. A lot of hair, could be blonde, and it's in this T-square. So I do worry about this. sometimes this can just simply mean that something has changed. You thought you were going to do something, you can't go to the spa, you're going to have to change, but this looks a little more intense than that because Mars is hooking up with that and right on Regulus. Like this is this is this is this is a sword. Mars is swords. Uranus is a cut. Taurus is the neck. So there's somebody who is just absolutely losing their mind. Now, she is Saturn for this year. So she's not necessarily in this configuration, but there is somebody right out in front of her. This is going to make the news because it's in the ninth house, it's in the press. And this whole big thing looks like it could just blow up in the press. And it has to do with Scorpio, which is revenge and betrayal, and maybe even some jealousy of some sort. But is it focused on Camilla? I don't think so. Let's look at the cards. I want to see if we can get some more information. Thank you, Julianne. Yes, please hit the like button if you like this show. And you can also join, which really helps me and my channel. Michelle, you say, do you always use Placidus to divide the houses or is whole sign better? I am not able to get the specificity when it comes to the dates. So it's much better to use just Placidus. And that works for me. But everybody has their own way of pulling charts. I always like to say it's kind of like science with formulas. It has to do with who is putting together which formula and how are you getting to the end result. And so in science, you can use different types of formulas. Everybody has their own way. Let's pull some cards for Camilla. Who is Mars and Uranus? What? Mars and Uranus right in front of her. Algo? Come on. Like this looks like bullying because anytime you have a square to Leo, that is a bully. Okay. This could be people who are younger. Mercury can be younger people. This is talking to. So that's one good thing. And that there could be just simply really nasty communications, and it might not have to do with bodily harm. Is what I'm seeing just simply a very, very nasty communication exchange that Camilla would witness. Three of Swords. Oh, you know what? Could that be the whole scandal with the love child? Or could it have something to do with Diana? Because remember, they are taking out Diana's picture in all of the welcome posters. And why wouldn't they? I mean, why would King Charles want to see his ex-wife with respect to Queen Camilla as well? But could there be, is this Princess Diana coming back? And okay, we're going to have to ask this question. Is Princess Diana part of this energy of revenge? Lisa, you wrote to me too, and I owe you an email. Yeah, it doesn't look good for Camilla. It's always nice to have a lot of different countries covered. We love to hear your opinions. Does this have to do with Princess Diana energy? Is she getting revenge somehow with Camilla? Eek. The Heirophant. Looks like yes. What does Diana have in store for this trip? I don't wish any harm on anyone. I don't wish any bullying on anyone. It's hard no matter what, whoever you are, and you want to sidestep these T-squares in whatever way you can. Does it look like Camilla can? Yes, it does. It looks like she has some options in avoiding. I mean, when it's in front of your face and it's in the press, it's hard. It's hard. But there's something of revenge. I think maybe it's in the press and it's already happened already. What's the revenge against Camilla about? High Priestess. It's a redhead. Could be Diana. Let me get a clarifier card. There is a High Priestess who wants, so this could be a female. Female's revenge. Can you give us any more information on the female that could be coming after? I don't want to say Camilla. I want to say her home because of the fourth house, maybe jealousy of her home. where she is in the palace, who is wanting to strike and is absolutely out of their mind, losing their head from jealousy? The world. Okay. So could be a foreign woman, could be the world itself. But something happens that could potentially kick off some maybe criticism, possibly. Okay, so we're looking at that T-square. And what's a T-square? A T-square is a triangle. And the apex of the T-square is going to have to do with the reason that there's this turmoil. Now, technically, you could say that it is this month, but you could also go up to where this is, where the apex is, and say, that's probably going to be a little bit more intense. But Mercury, right at the end degrees of Leo, is still royal. So this could be a royal who is striking. And the high priestess, I'm not sure who that is, but I think we're going to find out. Now, here is Venus. Venus rules the fourth house. Venus rules the month. You could say that the rising sign changes to Venus in this month. So maybe you could say it's Camilla. But there's a T-square with Pluto and part of fortune. So this is also in the mix in this month. And jealousy, it is wanting to change something and you can't. The third house is siblings, cousins, uncles, aunts, neighbors, locals, lovers, because of Leo. There could be somebody coming out here that might make things a little bit difficult. And we saw that a little bit with, not saying it applies to Camilla, but let me give you an example of this energy. Maya Henry, it's like a domino effect. Liam Payne's ex, Liam seems happy with his girlfriend, but his girlfriend before drops a cease and desist and seems to, there's scorpionic types of energy there. Like that's what you get, Scorpio energy. And then that causes the current girlfriend to be upset and want to get even in a sense, possibly, and leave. There's no account of that, but in my mind, I think that's why she might have left, because while they were in Argentina, this whole thing, this lawsuit dropped from Maya Henry, who had black hair, which is Scorpio. And so then that put everything into motion, that the newest girlfriend would fly home almost immediately after that, kicking off more scorpionic energy. And then what did Liam Payne potentially do? Well, maybe he wanted to get back at her and the current girlfriend. And so what is it reported now? That he hired prostitutes after she left. So it's just one thing after another. I want to get him for this and I'm going to get her for that. And she's going to get even and I'm going to get even. And it's just a cluster of Scorpio. And sometimes that can happen. So we'll have to see how it plays out. Kim, you said, hi, Val, female Australia senator at reacting with King Charles and Camilla's visit here in Australia. Yeah, that already happened once. Hopefully that's all they're going to see. They just move on. It could have been worse. What do you think about this royal tour? It's very possible that it just opens up old wounds, and it's possible. Remember what Amber was saying last Friday, or maybe it was the Friday before, that this would kind of be a twin trip, just like the one that he took with Princess Diana. But there's a possibility there's some kind of scorpionic energy again that's being activated, just like when he toured Australia with Princess Diana and she was just miserable because there was nothing that she could do. That's what's going to happen to activate that Scorpio. There's going to be suddenly everything happening for somebody else. That's what Scorpio means, somebody else. And you're going to have to watch it play out in front of you, which is what Prince Charles at the time had to do. He had to endure everyone idolizing his partner. And it was just like, why does it have to just be one of us? Why can't they be cheering for both of us, type of thing? And then really gave her a hard time. So I'm not sure how that is going to apply again somehow, but we're definitely talking some Scorpio. That's when the protester was yelling, "Not my king." I was thinking, "Not my queen," about Camilla. What could this be? Well, we still have bullying. We've got a jealous bully, and this is affecting Camilla. It is affecting her, probably going to affect her. It already has, maybe to some degree, but this woman could be a female that has reddish blonde hair. October, November, December, January. So this will be the 1st of January too, that this person might show up, because that would be the 7th house for Camilla. Okay, so this is King Charles's chart, and we're going to go over that. Definitely take a look at some of my offerings on my website and astrologywithval.as.me. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you like this show. Also, don't forget to join me and Amber on Friday. It's going to be a special show. It's a Halloween show. We're dressing up. It's going to be like, if you didn't think we were crazy before, oh, it's going to be a good one. So I hope you can join us. And now we'll talk about King Charles. I hope I didn't say Prince Charles. I have said Prince Charles since I was 8 years old, so it's still hard to say King. This is King Charles in November. So we're talking about the 12th house being his last month before his birthday. And we already talked a little bit about how the sun is here and Uranus, but we also have a lifeline. What's the lifeline? It is this sextile here. So it seems as if, now, let me tell you, when you have a rising sign in Virgo, like he does this year, this is someone who is very focused on details. He wants to know every single plan, and he is going to make sure that everything's in place. So this really, really helps when it comes to identifying potential threats. So something to note, also Virgo represents a doctor and healthcare. So his mind is on healthcare as well. Uranus, if you want to know who Uranus is. Now, in the 9th house, this could be a foreign person, but we go back to the sign that is represented by Uranus, and that's the 6th house. The 6th house could be workers. So workers could be somebody that quits on him when suddenly you're like, we're in Samoa and you're quitting now. So that kind of thing, where it's just like, it's just unbelievable. Here's the UK solar starting in January. This is January 1st. Ugh. A Scorpio rising sign for a solar return year is difficult. You just have to expect that somebody's going to offer you something and then take it back. And you really want to get them. You want to get them. But you have to remember, you've got to remember that rising sign Scorpio, just chill out. It's what you're supposed to be feeling. You need to experience that scorpionic rage, and then you move on. So with the UK solar, we're going to go around the dial here. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. October 1st to November 1st. We're right in here. Oh boy, we've got Black Moon Lilith in there in Virgo. So this is a famous worker, a famous bad worker. This kind of reminds me of Selena, and Selena having her fan club manager getting shot by her. Now, what does this mean? This is the UK solar. This is something very general. It doesn't necessarily identify the person that this is happening to, but definitely does show some trouble this month with a female that is, I don't know, she dies, I guess. It's a very famous female that's dead between October 1st to November 1st. And Libra, okay, so this is intercepted again, right? So Mercury was here for a while, squaring Neptune. So funny, they were talking about the hurricane, which would be Neptune. But, all the water and the flooding. But then we get into the last days of October. So I think we're in here. We just started Venus, and here we go. Here's the Venus. This is the politician. So There's going to be a foreign politician, and they are just going to be, they're going to be coming out, they're going to be going nuts because of this T square. But is something going to happen to that female? Could it be, is it the same female we were seeing in Australia? Or is this a new female? But this is a foreign female death who did something with Black Moon Lilith here, something naughty. And don't know what that means. The death of the naughty foreign woman. Don't ask me. Kim, very interesting indeed. Very much Scorpio energy playing out. Yes, I know. We're excited, Michelle. Halloween show sounds fabulous. Yeah, unless the Australian senator resigns. Death. That's true. That's true. So who is this foreign female that's going to die? We don't want anybody to die, but it's obvious here. This person is done. And what does it have to do with? It's in the UK solar chart for January 1st, 1801. And this is coming in. Venus is really going to give us, let's see, October 1st. So we've got 8 more days, 8 Scorpio, to see this culminate into this female. Now, this could be an older female with Saturn squaring Venus. Also, I've said before, Venus in Sagittarius could mean like a college girl, but it usually means somebody who is like international. So an international female. And who was critical because we've got Venus squaring the moon in Virgo. How do I know? How are they feeling? Well, usually when you see a red line, like a square or an opposition, it means that the person is experiencing or acting out the sign in its worst state. Virgo's like super critical. If it's like a really bad Virgo, and the red lines is going to say bad. So bad Virgo. Saturn in Pisces, this could be again, somebody else who's foreign. Pisces is foreign lands. Pisces is islands by the sea. Can also mean healthcare, pharmaceuticals, drugs. So anyway, can we get back to the subject matter? And that is really King Charles and Camilla. How about, will this T-square reflect King Charles's trip at all? What I'm seeing with the solar return chart for the UK, the lovers. So partnership. This is about a partnership. And can you give us any more information about the partnership? Doesn't necessarily mean lovers. Whoa, oh my God. The Chariot means jealousy. So Chariot reversed. All right, so we've got a jealous lover. Okay, who's that going to be? We're going to find out. We're going to find out in a few days. Kind of crazy. Yeah, so if you wanted to really see like big time themes of charts, you look at the solar return rising sign, which would be Scorpio. So you're really going to look at Pluto. And one big thing here is that Pluto, it's at very weak degree, and it's squaring Jupiter. So Jupiter, and this has already happened because we're now in the 12th house, although, look at this. Pluto's coming back again once we get to, so this is going to be December. Pluto's going to rule this part of the month. So yeah, Pluto's coming back again. But, Jupiter can mean teachers, their pay, that kind of thing. In the 3rd house, this is a lot of local people, 3rd house local, and getting revenge from a communication standpoint. 3rd house is communications. Let's take a look at some of the aspects. There's a grand trine here. And the sun is government, very powerful person. So is Capricorn. Jupiter is, wow, that's the workers. So, and this all happened in the middle of, the change in the parliament and, all this government stuff. It's like forward, back, forward. But it does seem like, let's figure out what Jupiter is. Jupiter rules the 2nd house. Whoa. Okay. So You've been tuning into this channel for a long time, and you know we've been talking about the financial stuff. So super, super financial, something's going on where people are getting rich and something is going to stop it, at least for a little while. And that's going to happen between November 1st to December 1st. It's right in the middle, so probably mid-December. Something is going to stop it. It's just going to throw everybody off. They're going to think they've got all the gold, but this could be something that has to do with budgeting for the government, but it definitely looks like there is a wrench being thrown in when it comes to financial types of things. Debbie, yes, the budget is going to be so brutal on the working class. I fear the backlash. Apparently, the people who are of Black Moon Lilith energy, which are the secretive, devious people, they're doing great. So, yeah, Michelle, I'm dreading the budget. Okay, Rachel Reeves' budget on October 30th. She has dyed her hair red. Oh my God. Definitely a theme. And we saw that, remember the Redhead enters? Oh, we did that show. So little did we know who it was. Yeah, I do hope something stops the greed in their tracks. Well, you know what? Keep in mind, Libra is a politician and South Node is somebody, this is a politician. And we can get a profile of this politician. I mean, this show was about the Samoan Islands, but I guess there's only so much we can talk about. But yeah, look at that. With this person is throwing off this big, it is just like a windfall of money for the government. And whoever this is says, no, you can't do that. Not saying that this person is good, because, I mean, Jupiter, what's Jupiter again? That is finances. I mean, it could mean an agreement with the workers, and then somebody comes in and tries to dislodge it or change it somehow. So, not yet sure if this big grand trine, the big blue triangle, is good or not. I don't think it is, because you've got Black Moon Lilith up there. There's something that isn't right about it. And this person is like, you can't do that. So this is definitely a politician. And the profile of this politician is a sextile to Mercury and Mars. Two redheads. Mars is red. Somebody who's speaking very angry and forthright, and might not be angry, but gets stuff done pretty fast. So it looks like, and that's the second house too. This could be documents that they're talking about. Sagittarius is the press. So it looks like maybe between November 1st and December 1st, there's going to be a politician, might have red hair, might just be, could be a judge, could be the courts. I don't know. I think it's a politician, might have red hair, who is talking about documents from the past. See, that's the thing about Mercury retrograde in your solar return chart. It shows that things come back, and sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's like, oh, thank God, I thought I lost that forever. And so this person seems to be getting some kind of documents. Mars could be the police. It's going to be some police themes that are coming up. Interesting how the police is in the second house this year. So could be police funding. But yeah, definitely a politician coming in and stopping something nefarious from happening that everybody's getting rich from right now and nobody knows, I think. Thanks, Michelle. Oh, goodness. Remember Thatcher had red hair? Documents from the past. Yes. Oh, that's right. Astrid, you said Val. Red is the Labor Party too. Yes. Yeah. Good one, Astrid. Oh, goodness, the government taking from the poor again. Don't they have trade unions in the UK? Maybe they'll step up. But Astrid, you said it's ridiculous. The UK got rid of the Tories for Labour, who always previously helped the working class, and it completely backfired. They're awful from what I've heard. Disappointing. Very good perspective. Yeah, maybe Nigel. It's a little crazy, don't you think? Okay. Thanks, Jay Fitz. Okay. Yeah, so we're getting ready to finish up 2 charts here, the UK solar chart and King Charles's chart. So we'll have to see what happens, but I'm going to be on again tonight talking about Delphi and what I think might be a secret motive of Richard Allen, who was accused of murdering 2 young girls in Delphi. So it's such a sad case. It's finally in court. It's hard to believe. And yeah, I'm going to get Aries. I'm definitely going to do some political shows coming up. So definitely keep an eye out for some of my shows. Hit the like button if you like the show, and I'll see you guys a little bit later. Have a good one.